Alright, hello everyone. Today we are going to try out this mono black discard deck I'm working on. It's always been one of my favorite archetypes to play ever since way back in the day in 1996, 95 Ice Age era. When I was jamming out with Hypnotic Specters, Mindstab Thralls, and the Rack, all 4 copies, of course. Let's take a quick look at the deck. This is what it is currently. It is a very much a work in progress. Even if it's not quote unquote viable, I always try to make this archetype work with every set release. So this is where we're at post Zendikar. We got Bloodchief's Thirst, Duress, just 2 copies. 2 copies, because 3 feels like too much. More often than not, I can't use them all, it feels like. Acquisitions Expert is really good. Gives you a little chump blocker when necessary. Also takes a card, but it's never going to take more than 1 because this is not a party deck. Run 2 copies of Agonizing Remorse. Not sure about the number, if that's the right number I should be running, but that's where we're at. 3 copies of Heartless Act. Mazemind Tome is something I just jammed in here because I started to gravitate more towards the control style with the deck, with the Crawling Barons and everything like that. We'll see if it's right. I don't know. I don't know that I'm keen on Mazemind Tome, but the deck really needs something. And I'm hoping Mazemind Tome is it, right? Moving on to the 3 drops, we have the full play set of Inscription of Ruin. This is a neat little Swiss Army knife of different effects. But more often than not, we're just making the opponent dump 2 cards with it. You can get back an Acquisitions Expert with it. It's not the best way. It doesn't feel like the most optimal way to use the card, but I'm not above doing it if the situation calls for desperate measures. It will also let you destroy another creature with converted mana cost 3 or less, and that function of the Inscription we find ourselves using more often than, well, not more often than not, often enough, rather. Palak Predation is a total experiment. I don't know. I don't even know that I've ever played this as a discard card. It almost always comes out as a tap land, but we're leaving it in there because we are running a pretty low number of lands. We have a lot of modal stuff in here. So far, it feels okay. Murderous Rider is always great. It can hurt you in multiples, but I mean, it takes care of like everything. So we're running 3 copies. This might be a 4 of, honestly, because sometimes you just want the body too to make back some of the life you've been losing, either through Agonized Remorsing or casting other swift ends, as it were. Running a full play set of Nighthawk Scavenger. This is the primary win condition of the deck. You empty the opponent's hand, then you drop one of these. And then if they can't remove it, they just kind of die. So that's what he's in here for. And of course, he's usually at least 2 to 3 power, oftentimes more, once you've emptied the opponent's hand. Agonizing's Awakening we're running 2 of is not extremely powerful in the deck, but you know, being able to play as a land is always awesome. Most mono black decks usually end up with 1 or 2 copies of that for me. Extinction Event, 3 copies, which ought to be 4. Not entirely sure. Again, like I said, this is a work in progress, so we're just kind of feeling things out as we go. 2 copies of Haggard Mauling. Great as a tap land on turn 1. Great as a removal spell late game. And Liliana, Waker of the Dead is pretty great in this deck. The plus makes you discard a card too, right? Not too much of a problem though, because it's a discard deck. We have a lot of discard cards, and once the opponent's hand is empty, you don't need them, so you can pitch them. And this card, of course, punishes the opponent for not having any cards, dinging them for 3 every time you plus. The minus comes into play a lot too. It's great for taking out a creature, obviously. The ultimate, though, is really backbreaking. If you can pull that off, that's usually game. Unless, you know, you're running up against a creatureless deck or some nonsense. And then the mana base, it's a small amount of lands, but that's only because we have so many modals in here. We have a single copy of Crawling Barrens, just as an alternate win condition for when things are getting a little grindy. And then 14 Swamps, 4 Castle Lochthwains. That's the deck. Let's take it out there and see how we do. Now, let's not jump straight into ladder. Let's just try the regular matchmaking here. Okay, always great to be going first, and this hand, not too shabby. A little light on discard effects, but maybe we'll get there. So, whenever I have Hagra Mauling in the opening hand, I'm almost always tossing out his tap. Unless I have a duress or something like that, in which case you want to be able to do that ASAP. So that is exactly what we're going to do. Opponent with the snazzy elemental pet. And okay, so we have a 1/1 on board. Looks like a good turn for Mazemind Tome, honestly. And we'll pass. I don't know that we need to scry into anything currently, so we will see if we can save Mazemind for draws right now. I guess it all depends on what the opponent does. They're going to peck at us for 1 with their Peasant. Palaka Predation. That's a discard spell, isn't it? I'm down for it. This will be the first time I've actually cast Predation as a spell. Ooh, what do we hate the most here? Honestly, probably Gem Razor. That thing can get out of here. Any kind of creature we can kill before it hits the board is pretty good for us. There's a Love Struck. We can take care of it with Heartless Act. Let's see if we can find ourselves an untapped land real quick. That's not it. That's not it either, but that's good. I like Blood Chief's Thirst. So unless they drew into a 1/1 creature here, we could Blood Chiefs the token. It might buy us some time. But what does that allow us? That only really allows us to... Well, it actually gives us 2 options. Allows us to draw with Mazemind or zap something with Heartless Act. So I'm okay with that. Let's do it. Let's play out an Agonizing tapped. And we're going to take care of that poor thing right there. And we'll pass the turn. Going with Fatal Passage. Here's a Quester. We'll let them swing. But we won't let them connect. Bam, get out of here. Your quest has come to an end, beast. How do we... Yeah, we're at the point where we might want to start scrying, right? We're not going to be able to kill Lovestruck Beast with Liliana. But we can start discarding. Let's go ahead and do the scry. Let's just see what's going on. Blood Chief's Thirst. That takes care of him, doesn't it? Keep that. Alright, we want to do this. Okay. We're in prime position to start Liliana-ing. Scorching Dragonfire will hit Planeswalkers, won't it? So too would Slang Fire, though they're lacking the 3 red mana for Adamant. Which is what, even with Adamant, they're not killing Liliana on turn 1. There's the Adamant. And a Bone Crusher to the face. That's fine. Okay, so... we gotta take care of that. See, with this deck so often, we're just always trying to take care of the latest creature. So we will scry. Heartless Axe is perfect. I'll keep that. So here we go. Oh, whoops. Why did I... That's... I thought I had an extra mana. That was very silly. I would have Heartless acted first. Now, of course, we can't force a decent discard because we'll lose our removal spell of choice. Liliana's gone. Any way we slice it. We might as well do this, right?
Get out of my way.
Next time I'll try not to be so careless. I would have Heartless acted if I'd known I was on only 5 lands. Okay, Brushfire gonna take care of Liliana. As it should. As any opponent worth their salt would. We're gonna try to draw with Mazemind now. They are playing. Okay. Okay, Nighthawk is pretty good, but it would die in an instant to what they have in hand. Let's start by drawing. Let's see what we get. Okay, it's just a land. We'll pass. I'm going to take the damage. It's just a point. Alright, Bone Crusher down. I think we'd rather take care of that with this. And Blood Chief's Thirst will efficiently wipe out the Brushfire, but we're still not able to make any headway. We can't put Nighthawk out yet. We have to get rid of those cards. Inscription of Ruin would be amazing, but no, it's a swamp. Just swamp. We pass. So we are out of gas. No card draw, and we're just top deck mode. About to take a beating from a mammoth. Agonizing Remorse is not terrible, but we do need to get rid of both the opponent's cards before we can drop our Nighthawk, which will only be 3/3, unfortunately. So, Slaying Fire and Scorching Dragonfire, both instants. No instants in the graveyard yet. Doesn't matter. Agonizing. There we go. Agonizing Exiles. So, not going to pump up our Scavenger. Well, they did cast one, so it does, actually. We drop this. If they get a land, we're dead. Potential. Well, no, we can block. We can block. Sometimes my mouth gets ahead of my brain, guys. We have to chump now, unfortunately. Castle Lochthwain pretty good. Might as well pop that now. Murderous Rider also good. Should we hold it? That's a tough one. That's a tough one. That really is. I'm playing it. I'm playing it. We might regret it, but when it passes, let's swing and see if we can connect. We did it. Gives us the power to draw without much downside. Ooh, Mazemind Tome, baby. And I'm good. We'll pass. Panchisco with a massive 8/8 Stone Coil Serpent. Okay. Do we scry or draw? Feel like we want to find an answer for the Stone Coil. It's more important than getting resources, right? Acquisitions expert. That doesn't help us. We got to get rid of the scorpion. We must. Put a stop. Swamp don't get us there either. We have so much removal in the deck. We just need to find something. Agonizing Remorse, not it. So, let's see. We pop this out. We still have a ton of mana. I think we'll be okay. Because we want to be able to draw with Lochthwain, right? We should still have enough for any of our removal spells. Yeah, this feels like the play. Let's get that cleave out. Get out of here. Duress. Yeah, that's not going to cut it. So we pass. We have to block. We could still be dead here depending on what the opponent has in hand. Better put that stop on. Oh, we messed up. That's okay. We ended up with a mauling. Could potentially save our life. We're gonna leave the stop up because that could have been helpful for us. Although mauling, I probably would have kept anyway because that does get us out of the situation. Going and doing it. Gonna get a duo of creatures. We are going to draw with Mazemind. We can get... why didn't my stop hit? What's going on, baby? Okay, so we can gain 4 life off Mazemind. Kind of keen on playing this one out. Let's duress, see what the opponent's holding. Always a land, right? Okay. We're looking for anything, right? Inscription of Rue. That's actually pretty clutch here. As it will. Oh, wait. Hold on. If we can survive a turn, we could potentially kick this. Is it worth it, though? Well, we would only get back... Hell, we don't even have a... Acquisitions expert to return, so no, kicking doesn't feel smart. We're just going to get rid of this guy right here. Pass the turn. Oh man, opponent with everything. So Scavenging Ooze is going to screw stuff up. Again, we are looking for removal. We're always looking for removal. So we do have no shortage of answers, but Scavenging Ooze, not super threatening, goes down to a Bloodchief's Thirst. Doesn't it? It does. Okay, opponent gonna blow every bit of green mana they have on this ooze before he goes. Understandable. Taking out all our fun creatures in the event we get Agadeems. Although we drew both our Agadeems and played them as crypts, so we are not going to have that option available to us. Letting it go. Interesting. So, do we play an Acquisitions expert? I think so, because they're not going to hold cards. Not even an Embercleave at this point. They'll play it out. Okay, it looks like we can draw 2. And the proper sequencing would be to do Lochthwain first. so we don't get dinged for the extra point. And it's a pair of swamps. Liliana's good though. Liliana's super good.
Ruining your day is good.
We're okay to lose our swamp. Opponent, of course, holding land.
Things my way.
And I'm okay to pass. If we can get Liliana up to ultimate, well, opponent doesn't even want to find out. It's all right. I'll take the win. Okay, what do we think of this? So we have Hagra, but not much more. I think this is pretty sweet if we can get land 3. Let's chance it. See how it goes. Of course, by land 3, I mean land 3 on time and not on turn 5 or some nonsense. You know how magic can be. It can be not so magical. Palak Predation serves as land 3 or 2, rather. All right. So opponent on Dimir colors. What would be okay to be countered here? Inscription Arone. Let's just do that. Even if they counter it, we reduce their hand size by 1. Extinction Event might not be terribly effective if we're up against Dimir control, but if it's like rogues, could be useful if the opponent taps out. Part of what makes rogues so annoying is the counter magic. Drown in the Loch is such a good card in the rogue stack. But not sure what we're up against yet. We'll pass. We can put a counter on Barons if nothing else. And we could also hold up Murderous Rider if they want to drop like a Thought Thief or something. Okay, it's definitely starting to feel like opponent's on a control variant. We're about to find out. Unless they counter it. Nope. Okay, yes. This is control if I ever did see it. Murderous Rider can take out Ashiok. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pull Ashiok out. And if they try to play the other one on the next turn, we zap it with Rider. They'll get to make a little dude with it first, but no bigs. Because their little dude will go down to Bloodchief's Thirst if nothing else. Although I am more keen on using Heartless Act to clear that guy out. Because I would prefer to save Bloodchief's Thirst for any further Ashioks. So what do we do? What do we do? Acquisitions Expert's gonna be kind of brutal here. Well, maybe not that brutal. And yeah, let's just get rid of this dude now. So opponent on a piece of removal and a piece of counter magic, and that is it. So let's see, what can we do to bait out the neutralize? Maybe go for a Murderous Rider. That would actually probably... That could get their Heartless Act. Yeah, let's just swing. Get our free chip. Because nobody wants to waste anything on an Acquisitions Expert. Play out Murderous. See if we can't tease out one of the opponent's cards. Get rid of it. There we go. Okay. So now we have more of a license to use Crawling Barons. They could kill it with another Heartless Act if we try to creature it. So let's not go there just yet. Let's just swing. Pass. And at the end of this turn, we'll put more counters on the Barons. And then it will be able to survive a Heartless Act. Ooh, Inscription of Ruin. Nice. So we're actually 1 mana short of being able to kick it. Although kicking it would not do much for us currently. So yeah, let's just do this. We gotta get rid of their stuff. Maybe see the neutralize. Maybe they'll trade the neutralize for this. There it is. They have no counter magic now, although they may have removal. So I still don't want to play Nighthawk Scavenger. Not yet. Nighthawk Scavenger is to be dropped when things are sure. Well, that's alright. That's alright. There's 3 more in the deck. Ooh, I love it. So, unfortunately, we would not be able to beef up the Barons if we play this Expert, but I still want to do it. I still want to do it. Gotta grind them out with this deck. Auto-tapper is not smart with Crawling Barons, I've noticed. How much more sense it would have made to leave it untapped. Okay, we get to take care of the Heartless Act. So Crawling Baron should be a little bit safer. Okay, we can pump the Baron's EOT. Don't have to make it a creature. Do you think they have removal? Do you think that's what that last card is? Let's find out. I'm willing to find out now. It is. We should have been patient. Story of my life. If nothing else, we will peck them to death with our acquisitions experts. Surprised we haven't drawn into any of our card draw. 2 damage a turn. We need a little more momentum than that. Because the opponent is drawing a card every turn. Look at that. Thankfully, we have the stuff to take care of this.
All your fears are given form.
It will be costly. And if the opponent has counters, they have a singular card in their hand. Ooh, okay, yeah, let's see what they got. It's just a land. So we can actually take care of their board.
Back to shadows and silence.
These acquisitions experts are going to get it done. Slow and steady. Agadim's Awakening is potentially very sweet. No, actually it's not at all sweet because we don't have any creatures in the graveyard. So, still want to hold it. Liliana's pretty darn sweet, though. Let's go ahead and see if we can bait out that last card, though. And panicking? Not yet. All right. We did it. Opponent goes first. Not the worst opening hand. We'll keep this. We can turn 1 Duress into turn 2 Mazemind Tome, likely. Or maybe not, though. They're on the aggro plan. Yeah, I'll take that Maul. Get that junk out of here. So they could stomp our Acquisitions Expert if we play it. So maybe... I don't know. Ideally, we draw into a swamp. That's what we want, so we can get Mazemind Tome down without taking a boatload of damage. Opponent on some kind of Boros aggro. Could actually really go for removal. Swamp will do. We're in trouble, though, because the Giant will just take out our Expert. The Stomp, rather. However, we would force them to use it and get rid of their land drop. I don't know. This kind of stinks. This is one of those situations where going second is just going to kill us. They're going to pitch the land. They're already established a decent board. And they can stop the Expert so as to get in a cool 5 points of damage. Putting us to 11. Okay, what do we like here? Not much, honestly. I think we play this out tapped and play a Tome and try not to die, right? Try not to die, baby. Let's see. Extinction Event would be the card that saves us. So that's what we're going to go for. I can't imagine surviving otherwise. Oh, I'm just going to wallop us. Just like they did last turn. We're going to put a stop before I forget. We need to find an Extinction Event. And that would only be a bandage. It would not be life-saving. However, if they were to drop a land and play out the Bone Crusher, that would be great for us if we got a Extinction Event. Let's see if we can find one. Bloodchief's Thirst. No, it needs to be Extinction Event or we're dead. Yeah, none of this great. Oh, go to main phase. All right. So, Hagra Mauling. Trying to think here. If we play out Acquisitions Expert, we nail their last card. And we can also play Liliana and try to bait out an attack. Get those last lethal points of damage at her. I don't know. This is just a whole bunch of bad options. But we try. I think we do this. Get rid of the Fervent Champion.
I grow strong. You grow weak.
Oh, not able to lethal us on board. Who knows what's in their hand? Oh, let's put in the stop. We still want that. They're just... Yeah, okay. There, that's good. Take that. Still looking for that Extinction Event. Come on, baby. Let's usher in a new Ice Age. Play the Bone Crusher. Let's do it. Blood Chiefs. Not gonna cut it. So are we dead? I think so, honestly. We yoink the opponent's mountain for whatever good that does. Drop down another Mazemind, see if we can survive to see another day. But we can't, because they can tap down our expert. That's a GG. Can't win them all, hey? We are on the play with a pretty land-light hand. I don't think we can keep this, unfortunately. This is better, land-wise. Keep it. What do we put back? This is a tough one. I want them all. But I think... card to put back is Palaka Predation. We're going to go ahead and play out Hogger Mauling. Is it land? Okay, we're up against Mono Red. Blood Chief's Thirst will deal with that annoying nuisance. However, if we wait another turn, we can probably get a better target. So... let's do this. Pass. Like Mr. Robert there. That guy can get the heck out of here. Okay, go for Annex. Alright, now we can Extinction Event their board. Be pretty sweet. However, we do have the option of Inscriptioning. I don't want to do that. They still have 4 cards. That means they get to keep their 2 best. So let's just do this. We'll go odd. Get rid of these oddballs. Opponent with the Kargan Intimidator and a Rimrock Knight. Oh, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage, right? So we have to think about what we want to do with this Inscription of Ruin. We can take out their last 2 cards, one of which is probably Embercleave. I think I just talked myself into it. Let's just get rid of those. We'll take 7 damage. What did we get rid of? It was an Embereth and a Bone Crush. Yeah, probably worth it. Next turn we can kill one of their creatures and play out Murderous. Try to get back some of our life. But this attack, presumably, we're taking 8. They can Embereth. Nope, they're going for another Intimidator. So we'll take 7, because they will pump the Kargan Intimidator. This is kind of bad for us, I'm not going to lie. Acquisitions Expert is clutch, in a way. Would we... well, we definitely have to get rid of something with Murderous Rider. Let's wait. Let's play the Expert. This thing should... Rimrock Knight ain't a warrior, right? Okay, so we will be able to circumvent Kargan's intimidation. We pass. We're still gonna get hurt here. And we slice it. So, we'll do this. Okay. Could potentially be looking at lethal here. It might have been wiser to block one of the Intimidators, honestly. You know, me not think so much sometimes. So that's going to hurt us for 2, regardless. Currently looking at 4 damage. A stomp would end us. But it's nowhere in sight. Extinction event? Would certainly reset the board. Yeah, we have to do it, because if we play out the Rider, they can do their intimidation thing. The Rider would not be able to block. So, it doesn't feel good, but we got to do this. Even, right? Yeah, Cargo Intimidators 2. Hopefully no haste creatures or no stomps. Annex. Not the best, honestly, but it is survivable by itself. We are forced to chump. But we will gain a little bit of life. It's not over for us yet. Taking a pump for the kill. Hopefully we get something good. Nighthawk Scavenger is actually very sweet. As is Bloodchief's Thirst. Can we do them both? It looks like it. Okay. Land. Land. So they got a 2-point damage thing, clearly. Right? Yeah, they do. We have to do this. It stinks. But maybe they'll burn up their hand. Oh, no. Okay. We're still in it, babies. No haste creatures, please. That's beautiful. All right. Oh, God, we're really doing it, aren't we? There we go. Starting to feel a little more safe. Play out the expert. Can't discard nothing, but go ahead and see what we can find. It's a swamp. Could be dead to, I don't know, Phoenix of Ash? That's not going to do it. How Grommaling feels like an amazing draw this second. So, is it prudent to take care of it now? I think we wait to the attack phase. In case they get some haste. Opponent going for it. And we're going to draw. I love Castle Lochthwain. Okay, we got a little bit of everything here. So we could kick Inscription of Ruin, but it would be silly. It would be silly. And instead of use it now, we're going to wait. We want them to equip that Embercleave to the Akargan Intimidator so we can Murderous Ride it. Swift End, rather. And there it is. Opponent coming in hot with an Embercleaved Kargan Intimidator that we are going to introduced to a very swift end. Here comes the Bone Crusher. We can Inscription that, which we probably will. Destroy target creature with 3 casting cost or lost. Inscription of Ruin. So much better than Mind Rot, right? And we take it. Awesome. Alright, just for shats and gaggles, I've decided to take this on ladder and see how it does against more established decks. What do we think of this hand? I like it. We keep this. That's a little bit of everything, right? Kind of needs to get land 3 before curve, though, so let's hope for that. In fact, we want land. That's what we want our next 2 draws to be. Okay, looks like opponent might be on a Croxa deck of some kind. The kind with Mire Triton, of course. There's our 3rd land. Perfect. We want to play this out. We could Thirst the Mire Triton. Although Thirst is outstanding at taking out escaped Croxes, so I think I'm more down to play this out tapped, pass the turn. Of course, I'll trade Expert for Triton. I don't care about no Expert. Not at all. Opponent with an extra Triton. In this matchup, we kind of wish we had Elspeth Conquers Death. Or not Conquers Death. Elspeth's Nightmare, but it's not to be. Nighthawk Scavenger looking pretty good this minute. But I don't think we want to do it. Let's take out 2 of their cards. Of course, if we manage to get them to pitch Croxa, they'll probably escape it, but that's not such a big deal. They do have Lochthwain now. That one's kind of a big deal. Croxa in the graveyard. Be happy to pitch one of these riders. That's fine. We would love to see a swamp. There it is. Uteus.
You wish you had a fraction of my power.
Let's get rid of this Triton. Hopefully that last card they're holding isn't something important. It was a Bone Crusher. Darn it. That's okay. They escape Croxa, presumably. We take it out with Bloodchief's Thirst and then play a Scavenger.
I'll be even more powerful next time.
Scavenger significantly less awesome since escaping Croxa, but it is what it is. Ooh, double Scavenger. So, F this Croxa. Get out of here. Just get. Don't want your kind around here. And we play Nighthawk and see what happens. Triton doesn't affect us. It will make it where they can escape Croxa next turn, but not before we drop our 2nd Scavenger. Heartless Act will also take care of Croxa. Nah, I think it's more important that we get the Scavenger out. We're going to lose a card. Right? Maybe it is less important to get a 2nd Scavenger out than kill a Croxa. This is a tough one, guys. I think we can outrace them if we play the 2nd Scavenger. Let's just do that. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't think about that. Crocs are when they escape. Gonna make our scavengers pretty crappy. Well, the deck does have a F ton of removal, so maybe we'll draw into something to take care of Croxa real quick. Hopefully, right? Otherwise, we dead. Yeah, Swamp's not the best. So we're going to eat a boatload here. We're going to lose more than half our life total. Yeah, we got to take care of that Croxa, or it's game over. Oof. Ouch. Oh, that's it. Okay. Really good turn for the opponent. They end us spectacularly. So, that's sad. But it is what it is. So overall, guys, I was pretty pleased with how that thing panned out. I like this deck. And I'm not even sure that I would change it much currently. The Mazemind Tomes even felt good, right? So, taking a quick look at things. Everything's good. Pelaka Predation might be the one that I would consider swapping out. But then you have to, with all the modal lands, you have to consider the balance of your mana output. If I were to take that one out, then I would have to replace it with at least one land. The land count feels pretty good currently. Yeah, so right now we're currently sitting pretty at 14, 18, 19 plus 6 is 25 lands. 25 is really where you want to be with this deck. I would feel uncomfortable going down to 24. And that's like 25 conditional lands, right? Because 6 of them are modal. You only have 19 solid lands. Anyway, yeah, the deck feels pretty solid in its current state. I'm sure you could make some meta changes. You could even make some general changes that might benefit the deck on a more universal scale, but I'm pretty happy with it. Mono black discard feels good enough, I guess we'll say. It doesn't feel top tier, but it feels good enough. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Love having you. Really appreciate your viewership. And if it's not too much trouble, go ahead and give this video a like. And if you want to be super saucy, go ahead and subscribe. Subscriptions are the best currency of love. At least on YouTube, right? Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Take care. And until next time, stay cool, babes.